So for today's task, we're going to now look at how parts can be brought together in the assembly section of the SolidWorks software. So I've created all the various parts to the Reindeer that you see on your screen. So to start an assembly drawing, so I'll remove this and we'll go back to the original new page that you've used before. Now, in all previous tasks so far, we've used the part feature. We're now going to select assembly and click OK. Now, once you've clicked that button, you'll get some options down here. Now, we want to go and browse for the various parts, and I'll show you where to find these parts on the Future Designer website later. So we're going to browse and we're going to search for the various parts. These are parts that I've drawn and the parts that I'm going to give to you so that you can learn how to create an assembly drawing. So we're going to start off with the body. I'm going to click open. And you'll notice that the body immediately clicks into the center of the page. There's nothing that we need to do to that component now. That's already there and in place. In the top left-hand section now here, you'll see Insert Components. If we click on there, we can click on the bottom arrow sometimes as well. If we go to Browse, we're then going to put in some of the other components. If we start off with either the antlers, the legs, the nose, it's entirely up to you. We'll go for legs so that the Reindeer looks as if it's standing fairly quickly. Now, once you click on that, the legs are kind of hovering on the screen. Now, place them anywhere on the screen. It's completely fine because we're going to add some kind of constraints to our drawing. So what you'll notice is that I'm now going to click on a face. So these are various faces. So I'll click on this face here. Now I want that face to attach, and I'm using the middle click on my mouse to glue on and to stick onto that face. Now for that to happen, I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard, click again, and you'll notice that this range of options appears. I'm going to click Mate. What that will do is it'll glue those two surfaces together. And then we tick it off. Now, for the legs, I'm going to do the same again with that surface and that surface. You see now that it starts to kind of memorize or kind of start to plan what it thinks we want to do. So I'm going to move that to one side. And then the last one to do will be this face being attached to it is this face, and we'll make that as well. Take it off again, and what you'll notice, you've got your first pair of legs. Now, click spacebar on the keyboard, and I showed you this in a previous lesson where sometimes this is selected off. It's quite a useful function to have that on. What we can then start to do is kind of see how our Reindeer is starting to look. Hit spacebar again, and that isometric view is really handy to kind of get a good feel for what's happening. So I'll do that again. So Insert Components, and we're going to find, in this case, another set of legs. Press Open, and it's then the same train of techniques or button presses. We're going to click once, I'm going to find that next surface, hold Shift, click again, and I'm going to click Mate. And it's now a nice, straightforward series of mates. So those two surfaces, helps if I select them. It's not working. So let's click there again. Just going to move this object out of the way. So what I've got is this surface here. Losing the sketch here. Just going to move that back a bit closer to make it easier. So what I now want to do is I'm going to place this surface and this surface together as a mate. There's only one then left to do, so I'll tick that off. And then I want this surface, mated with that surface there. And in this scenario, it's kind of already, as I said before, quite intuitive. It's realised what I want it actually to do. Again, if you want to see how it looks in isometric, spacebar, click on that view and you've got it there. Make sure that you tick that off every single time. I'll do the next ones just as a matter of finishing off the drawing. So we've got the nose, nice and straightforward, but it's the same train each time. Select those surfaces. We're going to mate them. We're then going to select, take that off, that edge. So that face with that face. Take it off. Oops, nothing's happened there. Cancel that. That face, forgot to press Shift, it didn't give me the option. Take that off. And the final one left. Why is that not working? Try that again. So go for that part to that part. There we go. Take that off. The only one left now, oops, is, so I'm just clicking escape occasionally to just deselect everything. So that one face with that face there, mating it to be done. Again, not forgetting to tick off those. So we've got the sketch complete. And then it's just a matter of finishing that off with one last component. So again, it's browsing for that part, going into antlers opening. And as I said, there's an element of repetition here. But what you then have at the end is a fully assembled drawing of a nice slot together reindeer. So it's remembering to press Shift. That's the key thing with all of these. So I've selected the one surface. I've selected the next surface. In this case, it's remember what I want to do. Tick it off. Spacebar. And then we have the finished slot together reindeer, which hopefully I will have on my desk to show you a completed version that's been laser cut. Tick it off to finish off. And there we are.